somewhere. We're giving everybody a bonus.
You're fired.
I wish I could say that was the shortest job I ever had.
Okay, we are live, but it is 6:58, so we might want to wait just a minute. Let's see. Fred could come.
I'll be walking through that door right now, like. We haven't started the pledge. Why should Fred show up?
There's Fred. Thank you. Right on time.
It's like literally.
We got 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They run the rotator cuff.
Oh.
It's really, I didn't think it was gonna be this bad.
You check out the display case or you gonna see it later?
Well, I didn't have time to stop, but
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was the one like right when you walked in. So that's awesome, yeah. My kids decorated the display case out front, so take your time and go look at all the fun stuff that I spend all my money on for them. They enjoy it. Good use.
Yeah, that was a good idea. I was
It
very
was a
impressed.
Milburn Madness auction item to get to decorate it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Okay.
All right, 7 o'clock. Let's call this sucker to order. I hereby call to order the Milburn CC School District 24 Board of Education Committee of the Whole meeting for October 7th at 7 o'clock. Madam Secretary, will you call the roll, please?
John Lorenzen.
Here.
Brendan Murphy.
Here.
Peter Petrini.
Here.
Jillian Phelps. Here. John Ruggles. Fred Skepta.
Here.
And Lisa Lister. Here.
All right, let's rise. People.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, do we have any public comments, Madam Secretary?
You do not.
Awesome. Do we have any additional information or discussion items that we would like to add for? No. Right. All right, first reading of board policies. We have our policy committee.
There's a lot of policies. Can't get through all of them, but they're mostly really good. And that's why we have press, so they're generally good to go as is for most of the part. So I'm happy.
Yes, I concur. I mean, most of these are just verbal updates. The only new one is 4.165, which is specific to prevention of child sexual abuse,
The one
grooming.
right above it,
2270.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That was a misprint or it's a number?
It's just difficult
New
spacing.
policy was printed down.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. So never mind. Yeah, most of these are just updates, nothing major.
Yep, so what happens is, we subscribe to press policy services, which is, through the Illinois Association of School Boards, and there's a panel of lawyers that review, our attorney firm as part of that. A panel of lawyers that reviews policies as laws come out, they create the policies, and then our board reviews them as well before they are approved. So this is the first posting, first reading, and then at the next board meeting, they will be approved as presented.
Any other comments, questions? Perfect. All right, purchase of copiers.
Okay, we have 5 copiers that are at their end of life. Last stages of life, and need to get some new ones, so we did an RFP last week on getting new copiers, so we will meet with the copy companies over the next week to see what they can do for us. Copiers are a huge pain to do, or to get any sort of comparison, because you can add and subtract so many different bells and whistles on them, and copiers per minute, and there's just such a variety of copiers, it's hard to compare between companies. So we'll do our best to try and sort through all that and just say, okay, how much is it for the copiers? How much are we going to pay? And we have to sort through lease option with, it's a lot. But so far, there's 2 companies that have responded to us, our current company, which is Techstar and Canon copiers. They're good copiers. The current copiers in both buildings, we own those copiers, so there's, we have 11 of them. Some are printer copiers, but we currently have 11. There's 5 that we're looking to replace, some of the bigger ones that spit out quicker.
How old are the copiers?
Some are, that one across the hallway is only 3 years old and it does not work. It is dead. We've ordered parts for it. They're putting parts together. I think that was a bad purchase that we got talked into 3.5 years ago. So I think it was when they had a warehouse that they wanted to get rid of and gave us a good deal on it, but
Maybe, yeah.
Can we get like several in that deal? Or
I think just that one at that time, but yeah, we did,
that we got like 3 or 4 of them last time?
yeah, at one point.
And
Until it seems like we're always dealing with copiers. But that particular one is the newest one and is the worst.
What's do you have an idea of the life expectancy of copiers in a school?
No. We have some that are 10 years old and we have some like that one that's 3. Okay. A lot of it depends on use. So if it's in the middle of the building like that one is, it's busy. Also depends on, does it have a folder on it? Does it have a stapler? Does it, the more basic ones seem to last longer. Slower ones seem to last longer.
Do we lease any copiers or do
We have leased to own, so all the copiers that we have currently, some are under a contract where we have a
maintenance agreement?
maintenance agreement on them. So we have a contract with them, that's part of it, and that is a per page contract, maintenance contract.
But the new copiers will be part of the budget that we just approved
Yep, so we have the money in there. for
already.
these
in the
five.
budget. Okay.
Correct.
Still haven't spent the 30,000.
Oh, it's special. Okay,
Any other questions? All right, school maintenance project grant.
Mr. Jorgensen. Oh, I'm sorry, I'd skipped ahead. School maintenance project grant. So we, Carly and I have been talking about the school maintenance project grant, which is given to us by the state of Illinois every year. It's, we get up to $50,000 matching. That means we have to have projects equaling 100,000 to get the 50,000, to get our maximum for us to take advantage of. So we like to max that out because it's better for our taxpayers. We have a list of projects. We have a list of about $20 million in projects that are, it's huge. Upcoming over the next 10 to 15, 20 years. So we're trying to take some of the more urgent ones off that list and knock those off. One of them would be carpet in this room. As you can see, carpet is, it's just looking shabby. This is 25 years old at this point and it's looking a little tired. It would be nice to make this space a little bit warmer, cleaner looking and better for our kids and also for our public. We have a lot of public events in here, so carpet for this room, carpet for the middle school office, which is 20 years old and gets a lot of traffic and has been, middle school's been asking about that for about 6, 7 years. So this might be the opportunity for that. The gym floor at the other school needs to be completely drum sanded down, repainted and resealed. So that must happen this year because the finish is worn through and there's actually starting to get grooves under one of the baskets. So in order to save the floor, we've got to do that. That's a no brainer.
Now, is that something that can get done like during a winter break, or just have to wait until the?
Summer. It'll be shut down for about 2 weeks
So these maintenance projects will be done next summer.
next summer.
Okay.
Yep. And that'll be about $30,000-ish. To do that. And then the other issue we have at the other school is the doors on the north side that are in the gym are all rusted out and not functioning very well anymore. So we're gonna replace those doors, which is pretty disappointing considering that we have doors from the 1961 edition that are still operating. That was built in 2005 and needs to be replaced, so. But a lot of it's just because of the way that it's close to where we salt and plow. It takes a beating right there, so. But that. And. So we're looking at all of those projects, bundling them together, and we think that's gonna hit about $100,000. 50 of which will be paid for by the state. Those have been on our list for about 3 years. This carpet's been on longer. Any questions about that?
Handbook updates.
Okay, now, Mr. Jorgensen, handbook,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yes, thank you. So most of you probably know that each summer there's a handbook committee that kind of reviews some of the language to make sure that it's not out of date and, things like that. We also get information guidance from H-Clerk, our law firm, on things to make changes in the handbook so that it matches the press policy. So this summer we met in August. We had 6 people that participated total. But of those 6 people, the cross-section of our community included teachers, principals, parents, former parents, the teachers union, a board member, students, and a former student. So even though the group was small, it was mighty and well represented. The purpose is to make sure that the handbook is current and useful, make updates that are for things that are out of date or areas of the handbook that have changed. We get a list from H-Clerk, as I said before. The required change from H-Clerk are applied to the document, and any suggested wording that comes out of committee is considered and applied whenever possible. General changes like names, dates, phone numbers, grammar, spelling, that all gets updated in the document as well. So this year, just real briefly, there's a few things that are new that I wanted to share with you, and a few things that just have some updated language in them. So new, we put in some information about referral GPS. So if you've been reading the newsletter, you might know that there's that service out there that Mr. Walshire and I have been promoting, that so that families that need to find emotional help for themselves or children, they have an access, a link that they can click on and go through some prompts with their health insurance and things like that to get the needed help. So that was something that was added. We also added some language about artificial intelligence. So basically kind of saying there's good from artificial intelligence that can be useful and productive, but it also is not meant to be a replacement of authentic work. Reporting and photography, we talked about how we don't want students using devices to record in the classroom and to share out on social media, including in the locker rooms, bathrooms, and things like that. So just some language to tighten that up. Something about Illinois being a 2-person authenticating state where basically if you're recording somebody, that person needs to know that they're being recorded or give permission. That's what it was, permission. And then there was also information that was added about notification of bullying. There's a requirement that if there's a bullying report, that both the victim and the person that's being accused of the bullying their families should be notified within 24 hours of that coming to the office. pretty logical. Some updated things in the handbook included push coin. There was a section in there and it was just kind of saying that that's encouraged. We'd like our families to be using that whenever possible. We added some language about fraudulent residency and the use of a third party to help with that. Grading scales were tweaked to match the Power School reporting for report cards. Life-threatening allergies or life-threatening chronic illness with wording for a 504 plan or an emergency action plan was also tweaked. Transportation change request was for waiting for the bus for in the morning for 5 minutes instead of 10 minutes. That was also updated. And then there was also some language changed about lunch and milk for free and reduced costs. Any questions?
I appreciate the AI in there. That's
Yeah.
actually a really good initiative. So yeah.
I'm surprised a lot of the stuff you discussed isn't already in there, actually. So that's a good job. Anything else? Any other questions? Thank you very much. All right, future agenda items.
So we will have the tax levy to approve the posting at the next board meeting. When Ms. Kraft gets back, she can present on that and be more specific about it. In general, as I was explaining a little bit in my board notes, but we get 3.4% additional funds from last year's local taxes. So when we do the levy, we add a multiply it by 1.034, and that's our cap for this year. The only thing that's not capped out of that would be any new construction. So the townhouses that are going up, they probably won't even hit the tax rolls this year anyway, but some of the prior gate that homes that were finished would hit the tax rolls this year. And we can capture all of that. That doesn't count in our cap. So what we do is balloon levy. So we levy a little bit higher than that to make sure that we capture all of the new properties in our district. And if we go over 5%, so if we ask for 6% increase, then we'd have to have a truth in taxation hearing, which we've had the last few years because we've been at that 5. Actually, last year we ended up at about 6% was our increase from the prior year because we had the 5% cap on all existing properties, and then when you add new properties on top of that, the total increase was 6%. So this year, we're probably gonna be under 5%. So we may not have to have the truth in taxation hearing, but Carly and I haven't looked at the specifics quite yet to get there, so. That'll be at the next meeting for posting, and then that gets approved in December. And we have to do it so early because we don't have enough time to get, those deadlines for posting notifications for taxing. There's a newspaper article that has to be within a certain amount of time. And we won't make it if we don't do it in October, so we'll do it at the next meeting. Okay, we have, Mr. Walshire, could you just give us a little shot on the Apex fundraiser that's happening this week at elementary?
Yes, so this is a new fundraiser. It's actually an epic fundraiser. It was brought to Epic's attention during beginning of summer that we explored, and so schools around the country kind of a boring fundraiser company, I should say, that it's kind of organized some of this aspect. So it was our first chance at it. Epic had asked if we could participate in it, so agreed. Now we're in full swing. So the idea behind it was that it was kind of a hassle-free aspect for Epic and for us as a school, for our staff. Not only is it a fundraiser, but also provides leadership lessons for our students on a daily basis. So each day they highlight a specific leadership trait. And then Friday activities during, the lesson times, but, obviously they get classroom updates on the fundraising efforts that they've done, so they're generating pledges on the number of laps that they do, with our event day, which is actually this Thursday, where it's a fun run. Where they're gonna, they bring in inflatables, they bring in, it's not necessarily an obstacle course, but it's a race path, and we're gonna set up on the soccer field on Thursday, and each grade level will come out at their designated time and run their laps, and depending on how many laps is, and then how much they generate based on the pledges they raise. So it's fully optional for our students. And so all of our students will participate, all of our students will get a T-shirt. And on that T-shirt, it's an orange T-shirt, and as they run laps, there'll be a adult out there marking how many laps. They just cross them off on the back of their shirt, so when they go home, they can show how many laps that they ran. And they obviously have gotten some incentives with the number of pledges that they've done, so students are coming home with little fun things that I'm mostly seeing growing aspect of bandanas and water bottles that the kids have been getting. And so then after costs of doing it through the Apex organization, then we get the remaining. I get all the percentages, but it's a significant part of the total that is generated. So I can tell you right now, as of 6 o'clock this morning, total amount that has been pledged is $51,000. And they have anticipated that typically they see an increase in the last remaining days. So we're anticipating that we probably, after the schedule gets, probably be very quick. So this would be a very big fundraising aspect for them that they've never had. So, yeah, so the kids have been excited with it. So far it's been a success. So obviously we're going to debrief afterwards, after we've done it, just to kind of see is, the things we do. If after what's to continue it, if they don't, but, so far it's been successful. Recently. Kind of seen how it goes. Yeah. Any questions on the?
Was that sent out in the, your emails that you
Yeah,
sent?
it's, we've been kind of advertising over the last month.
Okay.
Just let parents know, and then, we kind of led up to like the first day, I sent a separate email to families on the first day, like, hey, we had our assembly, today's the kickoff. And then kids came home with, every kid got a lanyard with their QR code, and that's what they used to then share that out with family members. So they're not going door to door or anything like that. It's pretty much done electronically or word of mouth, things like that. So, yeah.
I really like, it's one of the criticisms I heard when we were raising funds for American Heart Association, great charity. But was like, why aren't the kids just doing that for our own school when we're raising that, however much we raise for them, so I think that's a good.
And we've always been cautious with fundraisers, especially no one always asking fundraising. So we typically do one a year, but and so this will be the one that we do here. So we won't be doing, last year we did one for honor flight during Veterans Day. And so this would be the big fundraiser that would be reach out to families. So I'm anticipating Epic is going to be asking us to do it again based on this dollar. Yeah.
Thanks, Ben.
All right.
So we have,
Business office report.
no, here's superintendent.
Oh, we're still there?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's a
I
couple
thought you were
more.
done. Okay, keep going.
Our volleyball teams finished their season last week. 8th grade got second, a good battle, and 7th grade got first in the conference, so they had a great season. Parent University coming up. It's going to be on Schoology on next Tuesday night at the middle school, so it's more geared for middle school parents. So if you have middle school kids, that's one you want to go to understand how to use Schoology and how we use our learning management system. I'm excited about that. We had Timberlee last week, which was a great event for the kids. We did have one unfortunate event, and thankfully everything is okay with her, but one accident that was a little bit scary, but handled well by our staff, and I appreciate that. October 14th, there's no school for the kids, but the teachers will be here. It's a learning day for the teachers, so it's in-service day. And we have a variety of different activities that we'll be working as a staff together on. A lot of articulation with subject areas across the district because we don't have time to go between the middle school and elementary school during typical days. So that's one day that we can do kind of a district-wide groupings. So we'll take advantage of that on Monday. And substitute teachers, if you know anybody that's interested in substitute teaching, send them our way. We could use a couple more. We've had a couple of our staff on injured reserve lately, and that takes subs for every day, so we are short, especially this Friday. So if you know anybody that could do that,
See if we can expedite that.
yeah. Yep, we'll get them in. That's it, thanks.
All right. Where's everybody going on Friday?
I don't know, I gotta figure this out.
They're hanging out with Carly, that's.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie's coming, she'll be back tomorrow.
Business office, she's out of the office, so no report. Board reports, how we doing, board?
Just fine, thanks.
Thanks for asking. I went, the garden had like a pumpkin sale.
Oh, yeah.
I went to that. Carly was there collecting money, saw some parents there. Some conversations, they had some games for the kids to play. Chose pumpkins, saw a giant praying mantis eating a live bee.
Nice.
Yeah. Some milkweed beetles pulling open a milkweed pod. So yeah,
That's cool.
it was a nice little thing to show the kids nature in action.
Yeah. That's a big treasure that we have. That garden, it's amazing. And
My
that's
first
all
time in.
volunteers driven.
Did you play any of the giant games?
I did, we played Mancala.
Nice.
Taught the kids how to play that.
Wow.
And they did some connect.
It was one of our scouts made that.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Been many scout projects out there. We raised $500 that day, by the way.
All right.
Anyone else? I went to the resale. Dropped my kid off for a national junior high school or
Junior Honor Society.
honor society event, so she was working at the resale event and they seemed to have fun and there was a lot of stuff, so. I guess it was a good event.
Great.
Anything else? No, all right, I know you are all geared up for the closed session, but it's not gonna happen tonight,
Oh.
so.